Hello, my name's Lindsey. I'm the convener of the Stop the War Coalition in Britain. I'd like to send solidarity greetings to the conference that you're holding in Vienna, and sorry that I can't be with you. But I think it's an extremely important event, and I think we have to do everything we can, not just to oppose what our governments are doing in each particular country, but find ways that we can link up internationally. Speaking as somebody living under this British government, I feel that what has been going on with our government is a complete disgrace. That this government, with Boris Johnson, with Liz Truss, and now with Rishi Sunak, has been the most belligerent of the major NATO powers. It is repeatedly called for more arms to go to Ukraine. We have spent in the last year and a half, Britain alone has spent £4.6 billion on sending military aid to Ukraine. And as people will know, this includes depleted uranium, it includes tanks, and it includes cruise missiles, which is a very, very serious development, and one that is only helping to escalate this war. The British government is also committed to training fighter pilots for F-16s, and in every sense is urging more war, more expansion of the war, and not just around Ukraine, but also when it comes to the Indo-Pacific and the various alliances that we now have, the AUKUS Pact, the alliance with Japan, and the whole range of alliances, which now mean that China is really being surrounded by a series of pro-Western and pro-NATO bases. So we're in a very, very serious situation, as I'm sure that everybody at this conference is aware. The most serious situation in Europe, I think, since the Second World War. And it's a very difficult time for us because certainly in Britain, and I know it's true in many of the countries of Europe and elsewhere, it's very hard to put the anti-war position, not because we're wrong about this, but because there's very, very little possibility of breaking into the dominant narrative. So we have government which supports this position. The opposition, the Labour Party, having got rid of Jeremy Corbyn as leader, we now have Keir Starmer, who is as enthusiastic as any of the Tories for warmongering and for increasing military spending, which is also going to happen. We have a virtual consensus across the British Parliament with only a handful of MPs who support the anti-war position. Most Labour MPs don't, the Greens don't. So we're in a quite an isolated position in terms of the left and the movement. Nonetheless, we think we are making gains. We're making some gains in the trade unions, where the university lecturers voted narrowly to support a very good resolution opposing the arming, opposing NATO, and showing solidarity with the people of Ukraine, but saying that the best solidarity is to call for peace. This has caused a huge backlash, as any criticism of the dominant narrative does do. But we believe that when you talk to ordinary working class people across Britain, they have sympathy for the people of Ukraine, but they have no enthusiasm for this war. And they certainly don't want to have to pay more and more for a war at a time when food inflation is going up rapidly, where energy costs are going up rapidly, and where our living standards are being cut month after month. So these are all the issues that I think we have to try to bring together. I'm hoping that we can have an international day of action where we can coordinate what we're doing around the world, and we can have a time when we stand up against what NATO is doing. And obviously we'll be involved in actions in the run-up and during the NATO summit next month, and which will be another marker for us to stand up to be counted against the war. So solidarity with everybody meeting in Vienna, and let's keep fighting, let's keep organising to ensure that we can campaign for peace and not for war. Thank you.